Good evening, I'm Christine Strigella. At Fox 8, ABC 23 and This TV, we're honored to be a part of the efforts of the Ann Harris Smith Foundation for Gynecological Awareness to educate everyone about all cancers and to raise donations to battle them. As you all know, this annual golf outing was the inspiration of Ann Smith. As a wife, mother, and teacher, she had a strong, caring, and nurturing spirit, and her family and friends can give you many examples of how her spirit lives on in the lives that she shared. But one extraordinary story stands out of how, without intending to, she created a connection with her grandchildren, a connection that resulted from a simple desire to help her kindergarten students. Ann Smith didn't plan to write a book that would become a cherished treasure to her family. But because of her passion for teaching and her effort to help others, that's exactly what she did.
She taught kindergarten for an awful long time.
She used to always say that what you learn in kindergarten kind of sets the stage for your life.
And her mission was to find a way to make every one of these kids' lives just a little bit better.
The Color Wrap book began with an inspiration.
She loved her pets. We always had dogs, and she'd be out running or taking them for walks in the morning, and her mind would go a million miles an hour, and while she was out doing that, she would think up these rhymes.
And I guess with just the pace of the running, she came up with these cute little color wraps that she came back and taught her children.
She cared so passionately about the children that she taught, and you know, it was just one more thing for them to make something easier and more fun for them when they were learning.
Lauren Miller, a friend of Ann's, was also a teacher at Wimber Elementary. When the time came for her daughter Ashley to attend kindergarten, Ann's color wraps made their way into the Millers' home and hearts.
I was one of Ann's kindergarten students, so I got to learn all the color wraps, and they just kind of stuck, and I go home and I'm sure sing them around the house all the time.
It was a creative way to help kids learn colors, and because it worked so well, Lauren began using them in her kindergarten class.
They were just really cute, and the children enjoyed them.
Ann's color wraps became a cherished part of the Miller family. Lauren used them successfully for many years, and then she asked her daughters to help her fulfill one of Ann's goals.
I know she always wanted to have them published and never got around to doing that.
Amber Miller, inspired by one of her favorite childhood books, began crafting pages with her mom's kindergarten supplies.
She had tissue paper and you know, foil and different things, and I just started putting things together and cutting and pasting and, you know, making these pictures.
The Color Wrap book by Ann Harris Smith took several years to complete, but once it was ready, there was no one better to share it with than Ann's grandchildren. And Ashley Miller was now in an ideal position to do just that.
I watched some of Ann's grandkids, and their youngest one is 4, and we started doing the color wraps, and now they're his favorite thing, and anytime that I put him to bed, we have to read the color wrap book.
It's heart-wrenching when my 4-year-old reads me that book at night.
For Molly, now a mother of a 3-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son, the Color Wrap book has created a transcendent family bond.
It's her being there with us and reading the book to them.
It is an outcome that could not have been predicted, and yet it happened because Ann Smith approached everything she did with a desire to help and nurture others, even when she was faced with cancer.
When she got diagnosed, it was always about everybody else. It was never about her. And she said, you know, we really need to do something to make sure that, that this doesn't happen to other people.
Now 14 years strong, the Laurel Auto Group Pro-Am Charity Golf Classic shows no signs of weakening, a fact that the Smiths credit to organizers, supporters, and most importantly you, the participants.
I think it's pretty amazing that it's now 14 years and she was only with us for the first 2, and of course it was her drive to want to do it at the beginning. She really wanted to make a difference.
I think we're all humbled by how large it has grown and how many people, you know, continually want to be, you know, a part of this event.
We've raised over $1 million. We've spent a lot of that money back out. We're carrying a balance right now that we're working on further initiatives, but it kind of blows me away, to be honest with you, that we've been able to raise that much money and get just a huge outpouring of support from our people right here in this community, right here in this room tonight.
As good stewards of the donations received, the Smith family continues to seek more ways to reach out to people in need.
We're supporting 6 different events this year to try to really aggressively get out into the community.
It was through each of these 6 events that we met many more people who have dealt with cancer and have also responded with compassion for others. Lisa Rosa was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2011, which required chemotherapy. While she was receiving treatments, she and her husband recognized a need.
And some of the people that we met at the time were really having a lot of hardships financially.
Like the Smiths, they wanted to do something to help. Since the two were both active runners, starting the Lisa Rosa Flood City 9K race was the right next step. The 9K raised $18,000 last year, its first year. The money's being used to help people get to and from their chemotherapy treatments.
I recently had a patient that lost his job, and we were able to offer him gas cards to get to his treatment.
And it also helps some of them get a decent meal.
I met people that would either not have a lunch or pack a lunch.
Sometimes this is the only meal that people really get, and it's very nutritious and it tastes good.
Deb Cohen, a cancer survivor, admits she found it difficult to eat sometimes during her treatment.
But these were very good meals, so I at least was eating 1 meal a day.
This year's event was also a big win, raising more than $11,000. Participants enjoyed a MedStar flyover to help kick things off and beautiful scenery along the James Mayer Trail.
The best part for me is just seeing the community come together to try and help families in need.
I never ask why me, why not me, why anybody? When you see children going through treatment, it changes your attitude.
This is Kathy Estrich. She's a survivor of ovarian, breast, and colon cancer.
I am on a mission to share the word of how important it is to know our bodies and to take care of our bodies.
Antoinette Allen was caught completely off guard by thyroid cancer. Her doctor felt something unusual in her neck during a routine exam.
I had severe back pain, which brought me to the hospital.
Doctors found multiple myeloma at the root of Susie McCombie's pain.
It affects everyone.
It changes your life forever, and I think that it inspires you to give something back.
All 3 women decided to give back by participating in the American Cancer Society's annual Relay for Life, also held at Greater Johnstown High School's Trojan Stadium.
All the teams set up tents around the track, and they have to keep one person from each team on that track for 24 hours.
For Kathy, the best part of the event occurs at sundown when luminaries purchased in honor of and memory of loved ones are placed around the inside edge of the track.
I like to refer to it as a circle of love and hope. You can just feel the peace there.
25 teams and 219 participants worked together to raise more than $17,000.
To have the support and all the people in the community and people you don't even know throwing their support your way, it's life-changing.
If we work together, we can defeat the enemy that invades our bodies, which is cancer.
If I would have never had cancer, I don't think I would have been the person I am.
That's not the type of statement you'd expect to hear from a 12-year-old. Brent Swaltek is not your ordinary 12-year-old, however. He was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia at age 7 and endured 3.5 years of chemotherapy. Brent explained to me what motivated him to begin giving speeches at events like the Survivors Cancer Conference, another event supported by your donations.
I felt like I had an audience that would actually listen to me and say, oh, look at this kid. He's 12 and he's cancer-free for 5 years.
Star Durham's description of her cancer is also an unexpected one.
I've always considered it my gift, because if I hadn't gotten cancer, there are so many things that I've never would have gotten involved in. I would have never started volunteering. And it is through the cancer that has made me so much more aware, so much more involved in the community. And for that, I say it's my blessing.
She believes one of the main benefits of the conference is vital information.
The knowledge is the key, and giving them an opportunity to meet people that are going through the same thing that they're going through, and hearing speakers that give them information that they otherwise would not be able to get. It's a great experience for them all.
No one in my family had cancer, so I took it like, okay, something I can deal with, and that's it.
Bridget Byrne participates in the Hope Support Cure Brunch every year. Her battle with bladder cancer inspired her to become a volunteer.
Since I don't need chemo, I help patients that are getting chemo.
The brunch is an opportunity to share information and a time for everyone touched by cancer to celebrate life.
They light a memory candle in honor of people that have passed away, and then those who have survived, a survivor's candle.
I bring my daughters and my grandchildren, everybody, and it's just a nice way to celebrate.
Everyone's been touched by cancer, so almost everyone can relate.
Nancy Abrams chaired this year's brunch. She lost her husband and her mother to lung cancer.
My husband was always sitting in the waiting room, and he worried about the people that could not afford medications.
Now donations in memory of Nancy's husband, along with your donations raised today, help people who need it most.
People cannot afford to come to the hospital every day for chemo. It's a burden on them. So they've been getting gas cards, help with their medications.
We are now able to provide transportation for those who cannot afford it or their insurance does not allow.
Let everyone that's here today at our tournament understand that all the money that they have put forth is reaching deep into our communities right here in Cambria and Somerset County.
And that's what our goal is each and every day, is how can we make this a better community for people to live in, to pray in, to work in.
It's clear that cancer surfaces in many lives. It's also clear that a spirit of caring is prevalent in our community. As Aunt Smith, the Smith family, and so many others have demonstrated, reaching out to those around us does help people win the fight against cancer. On behalf of the Ann Harris Smith Foundation for Gynecological Awareness, the Smith family, and each and every person who benefits from this event, I would like to thank all of you for your participation and donations. Without your continued support and generosity, the foundation could not survive. Your efforts positively impact the lives of countless people in our community every day. Please accept our sincere gratitude for helping to make this a better place to live. For Fox 8 ABC 23 and This TV, I'm Christine Stragala. Good night.